I'm standing in my own living room, the one I've lived in for 43 years, watching my grandson Derek pack my belongings into cardboard boxes. My hands are shaking, not from age but from rage. Grandma Helen, Sunrise Haven is beautiful. You'll love it there, he says without looking at me. His fiancée, Ashley, is filming the entire thing on her phone, smiling. I built this house with my late husband. My daughter, Derek's mother, died in the guest room upstairs 5 years ago. And now this 28-year-old is acting like I'm a piece of furniture he's donating. I don't want to go, I say, my voice steady despite the storm inside me. Derek finally looks up. You fell last month, Grandma. You can't take care of yourself anymore. I fell because he left his gym bag on the stairs. Ashley giggles at something on her phone. That's when I noticed the real estate brochure on my coffee table. My house, my address, listed for $1.2 million. You're selling my house. The words come out like broken glass. Derek has the audacity to look offended. It's for your own good, Grandma. The care home costs money, and you don't need all this space. I raised this boy when his mother was working 3 jobs. I paid for his college when his father refused. And now he's selling my home out from under me. This house is in my name, I say. Derek exchanges a look with Ashley. Actually, Grandma, remember that power of attorney you signed last year? When you had pneumonia. My blood runs cold. I remember being very sick. Derek bringing papers to my bedside, saying they were for emergency medical decisions. You tricked me. We're protecting you, Ashley chimes in, still holding her phone. That's when I see it, the red recording dot. She's making content out of my devastation. I want to see those papers. Now. Derek suddenly looks nervous. They're with my lawyer. Grandma, please don't make this difficult. But I'm already moving toward my bedroom, toward the fireproof safe where I keep everything important. Derek tries to block me, but I'm faster than he thinks. Inside the safe, my will, my deed, insurance papers, and thank God, a copy of what I signed. I read it with my reading glasses, and my lawyer training from 40 years ago comes flooding back. It's a medical power of attorney with limited scope. It says nothing about financial decisions or property. This doesn't give you the right to sell my house, I say, my voice now ice. Derek's face goes red. Grandma, you're confused. I was a real estate attorney for 30 years. Try again. Ashley has stopped filming. The air in the room has shifted. We'll talk about this later, Derek says. When you're calmer. Get out of my house. They leave, but I hear Derek on the phone in the driveway. She's being unreasonable. No, she won't sign. We need to move faster. I watch from the window as they drive away in the BMW I helped Derek buy 2 years ago. My hands are still shaking, but now there's something else mixed with the rage. Calculation. I'm 71 years old, not dead. And I'm not helpless. I pick up my phone and call my oldest friend, Margaret, who still practices law. Maggie, I need your help. My grandson just tried to steal my house. 3 hours later, I have a new attorney on retainer, a restraining order being prepared, and a complete audit of my finances. That's when I discovered the first real theft. $47,000 withdrawn from my savings account over the past 6 months. All the checks are signed with my name, but I never wrote them. Derek had my checkbook. He said he was helping me with bills. Margaret's face is grim when she shows me the copies. Helen, this is elder financial abuse. This is criminal. But I'm thinking bigger. Derek is getting married in 3 months. A massive wedding at the Grandview estate. I know because he asked me to contribute $30,000 to it. Money I gave him, thinking I was helping my only grandson celebrate love. Don't call the police yet, I tell Margaret. She looks surprised. Why not? Because I want to know everything first. How deep does this go? I spend the next 2 days going through every document, every statement, every paper I've signed in the past year. Derek had been careful, but not careful enough. He's been forging my signature on checks. He added his name to my credit card. He even tried to take out a home equity loan. It was denied, thank God, because the bank called me directly to confirm. The total theft: $89,000. Almost my entire retirement savings. On Wednesday, Derek shows up with flowers and crocodile tears. "Grandma, I'm sorry we fought. I'm just worried about you." I let him in, playing the confused old woman. He clearly thinks I am. "Oh, Derek, I've been so stressed. Maybe you're right about the care home." His relief is visible. "Disgusting. Really? That's wonderful, Grandma. And about the house, if you could just sign here." He pulls out new papers. I pretend to read them, my hands shaking, but this time it's an act. "This all looks so complicated, dear. Can you explain it?" As he talks, I'm recording everything on my phone, hidden under a magazine. He's describing how he'll sell the house, invest the money for me, and manage my care. Not once does he mention giving me any control or choice. "I need to think about it," I say. Derek's smile tightens. "Grandma, we need to decide soon. The wedding is expensive and..." He stops, realizing his mistake. "The wedding?" Say softly. "What does your wedding have to do with my house?" Derek backpedals fast. "Nothing, Grandma. I just meant planning the wedding, and this has been stressful." But I saw it. The flash of entitlement in his eyes. He's been counting my money as his inheritance before I'm even gone. After he leaves, I call Margaret again. I want to change my will. Immediately. By Friday it's done. Derek is completely removed. The house goes to a charity I've supported for decades. My remaining money, what little he hasn't stolen, goes to scholarships for nursing students, in memory of my daughter who was a nurse. Derek will get exactly $1 and a letter explaining why. But I'm not done. Not even close. I start making calls to people I haven't spoken to in years. Former colleagues. Private investigators. People who owe me favors from my attorney days. I'm building a case, and I'm building an army. The private investigator's report arrives on Monday. Derek's life isn't what it seems. His successful consulting business. Barely solvent. That BMW. Leased with money he can't afford. The wedding venue. He's made the deposit but can't pay the balance. He's drowning in debt. $180,000 worth. And he's been banking on my money to save him. But there's more. Ashley, his perfect fiancée with her social media following, doesn't know half of it. She thinks Derek is wealthy. Her Instagram is full of designer bags and luxury dinners, all funded by my stolen money. The investigator found something else. Derek has been telling Ashley that he's already inherited money from me, that I signed everything over because I trust him so much. He's been lying to everyone. I feel sick, but I also feel powerful. Knowledge is ammunition, and I'm loading my weapon carefully. That evening Derek calls. "Grandma, about those papers. Come over tomorrow," I tell him. "I'll sign everything." I can hear the triumph in his voice. "That's wonderful, Grandma. You won't regret this." Oh, but he will. The next day, Derek arrives with Ashley and a notary. Someone I don't recognize, probably someone he paid off. Margaret is hiding in my guest room upstairs with her phone, recording everything through a crack in the door. Before I sign, I say, "I want to understand something. Derek, how much money have you taken from my account in the past 6 months?" He laughs nervously. "Grandma, I haven't taken anything. I've been helping you manage. $89,000. The room goes silent. Ashley looks confused. What is she talking about? Derek's face is white. "Grandma, you're confused. You gave me that money for. I gave you $30,000 for your wedding. The rest you stole." I pull out the bank statements. "Here's your signature, forged on my checks." Ashley grabs the papers from my hand. I watch her face change as she reads, page after page of evidence. "Derek, what the hell is this?" "She's lying," Derek stammers. "She's old, she doesn't remember giving me permission." "I remember everything," I say. I also remember you stealing my checkbook, recording me without my consent, trying to sell my house using a fraudulent power of attorney. The notary is backing toward the door. Ashley is crying now, mascara running down her face. You told me you inherited money from her. You said she gave it to you. I'm not dead yet, I say coldly. And he won't inherit a single penny. Derek lunges toward me, and that's when Margaret emerges from upstairs. That's assault, she says calmly, her phone still recording. Helen, should I call the police now? Derek freezes. He looks at me with something I've never seen before. Fear. Grandma, please. We can work this out. I'll pay you back. You'll pay me back with what? Yes. You're $180,000 in debt. I know everything, Derek. Your failed business. Your leased car. Your lies. Ashley is staring at Derek like she's never seen him before. What debt? You said you were successful. The notary has officially left. It's just the four of us now. Me, Margaret, and two people watching their carefully constructed life collapse. Here's what's going to happen, I say. You're going to return every penny you stole. You're going to sign a confession. And you're going to cancel that wedding. You can't make me, Derek starts. I can press criminal charges right now. Elder abuse, fraud, forgery. You'll go to prison. Ashley sinks into my couch, sobbing. The wedding is in 6 weeks. Everyone's invited. My parents paid for my dress. I feel a flicker of sympathy for her, but only a flicker. She was happy to benefit from my stolen money. You're marrying a thief, I tell her. Save yourself. Ashley looks at Derek, waiting for him to deny it. He doesn't. He can't. How could you, she whispers. I trusted you. I loved you. I did this for us. Derek shouts. For our future. She's old, she doesn't need all that money. It's my money, I say. That I earned. That my husband and I saved for decades. Margaret steps forward. Derek, you have two choices. Sign the confession and repayment agreement, or we press charges today. I don't have $89,000. Then you'll make payments, Margaret says. Every month. With interest. For the rest of your life if necessary. Derek looks trapped. And if I don't? Prison, I say simply. And I'll make sure everyone knows what you did. Your friends. Your business contacts. Everyone. Ashley stands up, yanking off her engagement ring. She throws it at Derek. We're done. She walks out without looking back. Derek watches her go, and I see something in him break. But I don't feel victorious. Feel sad. This is the boy I raised, who I loved like a son. Where did I go wrong? Derek signs the papers with shaking hands. Confession. A repayment plan. An acknowledgement that the power of attorney was obtained under false pretenses. Margaret notarizes it properly. You're going to tell everyone the wedding is cancelled, I say. You're going to tell them the truth. I'll be ruined, Derek whispers. You ruined yourself. After he leaves, I sit in my living room, the same living room where this started just days ago, and I cry. Margaret sits beside me. You did the right thing. Did I? I just destroyed my grandson's life. He destroyed his own life. You just stopped him from destroying yours. But that night I couldn't sleep. I keep thinking about Derek as a child. The way he used to help me garden. The way he'd call me his best friend. When did money become more important than family? The next morning, I wake to find my front door egged and spray painted with the word bitch. Derek's friends, probably. Or maybe Derek himself. I called the police this time and they took a report. Then I call my security company and install cameras. The police officer, a kind woman named Sandra, sits with me in my kitchen. Ma'am, I see this a lot. Elder abuse is more common than people think. I never thought about my own family. I can't finish. He pats my hand. Family doesn't mean they get to hurt you. Over the next week I start hearing things. Derek is telling people I'm senile, that I'm making false accusations, that he was trying to help, and I attacked him for no reason. My neighbors, some of them, are starting to look at me strangely. I realize Derek is waging a social war. He can't win legally, so he's trying to win publicly. Fine. Two can play that game. I start with the truth. I wrote a detailed Facebook post explaining what happened. The theft, the forged signatures, the lies. I include enough detail to be credible without violating the legal agreement. The response is overwhelming. Friends I haven't heard from in years reach out. Former colleagues offer support. My book club rallies around me. But more importantly, Ashley's friends start commenting. Turns out she's told them everything. Derek tried to silence her, but she's done being silent. One comment changes everything. Derek did the same thing to his last girlfriend. Took money from her mom's account. I always wondered why she left him so suddenly. I contacted that woman, Sarah, through Facebook. We met for coffee. Her story is hauntingly similar. Derek presented himself as successful, gained access to her family's finances through her trust, then stole $15,000 before she caught him. Why didn't you press charges? Asked. He threatened me. Said he'd ruin my reputation. I was young and scared. I'm not young, I say. And I'm not scared anymore. With Sarah's testimony, I have proof of a pattern. Derek isn't just a desperate man who made one mistake. He's a serial con artist who targets women and their families. Margaret is ecstatic. This changes everything. We can push for criminal charges that will actually stick. But I'm thinking about something else. How many others are there? We start investigating. Margaret hires a better private investigator. Over the next 2 weeks, we found 3 more women. Derek has been running this scam for almost 6 years. His business is just a front. His real income comes from the women he dates and the families he manipulates. The total we can prove. Over $300,000 stolen from 5 families. All older people. All vulnerable in some way. I'm not just angry anymore. I'm furious. This isn't about me. It's about protecting everyone Derek might hurt next. I called a meeting with all the victims. We gather in my living room which I still own, and we share our stories. There's Clara, whose mother lost her entire retirement. There's Jean, whose father had to sell his business. There's Sarah, whose family almost lost their home. And there's Patricia, whose grandmother died in debt because of Derek. We're all connected by one person's greed. We go to the police together, I say. All of us. With all the evidence. They're scared. Derek threatened most of them. But together we're stronger than our fear. On Monday morning, 6 women walk into the police station. We bring bank statements, forged checks, recorded conversations, and written confessions. The detective assigned to the case, Detective Morrison, listens to everything. His face gets harder with each story. Why didn't any of you come forward before? Patricia speaks up. He said no one would believe us. That we were just angry exes and senile old women. Well, Morrison says, I believe you. The investigation officially begins. Derek is brought in for questioning. I'm not there, but Margaret tells me he tried to lawyer up, but his story fell apart quickly. The evidence is overwhelming. Forensic accountants trace the money. Derek crumbles under questioning, and eventually, he confesses to everything. The district attorney calls it one of the most calculated cases of elder financial abuse and fraud he's seen. Derek is arrested. His bail is set at $100,000. Money he doesn't have. He sits in jail for 3 days before his father, who Derek hasn't spoken to in years, bails him out. I don't feel victorious. Feel exhausted. That evening, Derek's father, my former son-in-law Tom, calls me. Helen, I don't know what to say. Your son is a criminal. I know. I thought I raised him better. So did I say, and we share a moment of mutual grief. Tom tells me he had no idea about any of this. He and Derek have been estranged since the divorce. He blamed me for everything, Tom says. For the divorce, for his mother's death, for his problems. I thought he was just angry. Anger doesn't justify theft. The trial is set for 4 months away. In the meantime, my life slowly returns to normal. I have my house. I have my independence. I have my dignity. But I've lost my grandson. Not to death, but to something worse. His own choices. The story goes viral. A local news station picks it up. Elderly woman stops grandson's theft ring. I'm interviewed. I tell my story carefully, focusing on the facts and on protecting other families. Ashley reaches out to me via email. Mrs. Helen, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I should have questioned things more. I invited her to coffee. She's lost weight. She looks tired. I really loved him, she says. Or I loved who I thought he was. He fooled all of us, I told her. Don't blame yourself for his lies. She cries and I hold her hand. She's a victim too in her own way. She tells me she's in therapy now, learning about red flags and manipulation. She's moving back home with her parents. She's starting over. The weeks before the trial are strange. I'm famous in my community now. The grandmother who fought back. People recognize me at the grocery store. My book club is proud. My church offers support. But some people still think I'm wrong. I get hateful messages online. He's your grandson, how could you? The family is supposed to forgive. You're cruel for pressing charges. One woman at the grocery store actually confronts me. My grandson would never do that. You must have done something to deserve it. Margaret, who's with me, steps between us. Her grandson stole nearly $100,000 from her. What exactly would make her deserve that? The woman has no answer. But her words sting. Did I do something wrong? Did I spoil Derek too much? Trust him too easily? My therapist, yes, I'm in therapy now too, assures me this isn't my fault. Abusers are responsible for their own choices. Always. 2 weeks before trial, Derek's lawyer contacts Margaret with a plea deal offer. Derek will plead guilty to reduced charges, pay full restitution to all victims, and serve 2 years in prison with probation. What do you think? Margaret asks me. I think about the other women. I think about the families he destroyed. I think about who else he might hurt if he gets a light sentence. No deal, I say. We will go to trial. Derek's lawyer tries to negotiate directly with me. He shows up at my house, which causes my new security cameras to alert me immediately. Mrs. Helen, please. Derek is young. He made mistakes. Don't ruin his whole life over this. He ruined his own life. And he tried to ruin mine. Have mercy. He's your grandson. He stopped being my grandson when he stole from me. The lawyer leaves. 3 days later, they accept the prosecution's terms. Derek will plead guilty to all charges and accept whatever sentence the judge deems appropriate. The sentencing hearing is packed. All Derek's victims are there. His father is there. Even Ashley comes, sitting in the back. Derek looks small in his orange jumpsuit. He's lost weight too. The judge reads the charges. Mr. Derek Williams, you've pleaded guilty to 5 counts of elder financial abuse, 7 counts of forgery, and multiple counts of fraud. Do you have anything to say before I pass a sentence? Derek stands. He looks at me. Grandma Helen, I'm sorry. I was desperate and stupid and I hurt the person who loved me most. I don't expect forgiveness. I just want you to know I'm sorry. I don't react. Words are cheap. The judge is not impressed. Mr. Williams, you systematically targeted vulnerable elderly individuals, including your own grandmother, and stole their life savings. You showed no remorse until you were caught. I'm sentencing you to 6 years in prison, followed by 5 years of supervised probation and full restitution to all victims. Derek's father gasps. Ashley is crying. I sit perfectly still. 6 years. He'll be 34 when he gets out. His entire life trajectory has changed. The judge continues. Furthermore, upon release, You are permanently prohibited from holding power of attorney for anyone, and you must undergo counseling for gambling addiction and impulse control. Gambling addiction. That explains where some of the money went. After the hearing, reporters swarm us outside. I give a brief statement. Justice was served today. I hope this sends a message that elder abuse will not be tolerated. Tom approaches me. Helen, I don't know what to say. Take care of yourself, Tom. He nods and walks away, shoulders slumped. That night I sat in my living room. My beautiful living room that I fought so hard to keep, and I finally let myself feel everything. Relief, sadness, anger, victory, grief. All of it at once. Margaret calls. How are you holding up? I don't know yet. In the weeks after sentencing, my life begins to truly settle. The restitution payments start coming. Small amounts from Derek's prison job, larger amounts from assets he's forced to liquidate. I'll probably never see all my money back, but I see enough. I've started a support group for elder abuse victims. We meet twice a month at my church. 12 people came to the first meeting. 25 came to the second. We're not alone in this. Clara got her mother's money back. Jean's father's business is recovering. Sarah is engaged to someone new. Someone kind. Patricia's grandmother's debts have been settled through Derek's payments. We're all healing slowly. I received a letter from Derek in prison. I stare at it for 3 days before opening it. Inside. Grandma Helen, I've had a lot of time to think. You were right about everything. I was entitled, selfish, and cruel. I don't expect forgiveness, but I want you to know I'm getting help. Real help. I'm in therapy. I'm facing what I did. I'm trying to become someone you could be proud of again. Love you. Sorry. Derek. I cry when I read it. Not because I forgive him, not yet, but because I see a glimmer of the boy I once knew. Maybe someday, years from now, we can rebuild something. But not now. Now I need to focus on myself. I've started painting again, something I gave up decades ago. I've joined a travel group for seniors. Next month we're going to Italy. I'm going to see the places my late husband and I always dreamed about. My house is full again, not with Derek's boxes but with my own life. My book club meets here. My support group sometimes gathers here. Ashley visits occasionally. We've become unlikely friends. One evening I stand in my garden, looking at the flowers I planted with my husband 40 years ago. They're blooming again after a hard winter. I think about everything I've been through. The betrayal, the fight, the victory, the loss. I'm 71 years old, and I just won a war I never wanted to fight. But I won. I survived. And I'm still here in my house, living my life on my own terms. Derek tried to send me away. Instead, I sent him to prison and saved myself. Some might call it revenge. Call it justice. And justice, I've learned, sometimes requires you to be firm. To stand up. To fight back. Even against the people you love. Especially against the people you love. Because love without respect is meaningless. And I respect myself too much to be anyone's victim. I water my flowers and smile. Tomorrow I'm meeting with a publisher about writing a book. My story. My survival. My refusal to be erased. This is my life. My house. My choice. And no one, not even my own family, will take that away from me again.